Today, you and I are going on a journey to find new areas to explore and hidden gems to uncover. That's right, we're doing Project Zomboid map expansions. Hello everyone, my name is Melvesa, and I love exploring the world of Project Zomboid. So today, I put together a list of the funnest and most unique map expansions available in the workshop. Let's kick off the video with one of my favorites. Most of you have probably heard about Raven Creek, but if you haven't, you really need to give this one a try. This map expansion is probably one of the largest and most densely populated cities you can find on the workshop. The mod adds the new port city, Raven Creek, to the southwest corner, above the vanilla town of Rosewood. The city is broken up into three main areas: the town, the main city, and the port zone across the water. The town area is more residential and has the fewest zombie spawns on the map. There are still a lot of multi-level buildings and a town center full of stores to loot, but it's much smaller than the main city. This would be a really good starting location for a character since you can find everything you need without being completely overwhelmed by massive hordes. The town even has its own fire department. The main city is massive and it's divided into two zones, the urban zone and the residential zone. The residential zone is mostly filled with houses and smaller stores, but there are a few multi-level apartment buildings to search here as well. According to the heat map I found on PZ Fans, this area is mostly medium population with the exception of a few select areas. The urban zone, or the city proper, is the largest and most densely populated zone. This area is full of massive stores, multi-level apartment blocks, and industrial structures. The buildings here are massive and everything is densely packed together, which will make surviving very difficult. This is also the area where you'll find the most loot. The last area, the port zone, is fully industrial and was designed as a PvP zone. The zone has a lot of open spaces, tons of shipping containers, and some interesting places to explore. This part of the map also has some hidden secrets and rewards to be found. Outside of the main areas, there are military bases, farmhouses, wood cabins, and even an entire prison to clear. Everything you could ever want can be found in Raven Creek. I cannot imagine how long you would have to play on this map before you run out of resources. Which is a good thing, because Raven Creek is also notoriously difficult to leave. The exit to the map requires you to pass through long stretches of densely populated areas on foot. Conquering this map will require a different playstyle from traditional Zomboid survival. The loot will be more abundant, but so will the number of zombies, so you'll need to think outside the box to navigate this map, especially in the urban center. If you love action and exploration, you'll really enjoy this one. Now the next map on the list is Bedford Falls, and this one has been around for a little while. According to the Steam data, the first version was released back in 2015, but the map has been updated several times since. The fictional town of Bedford Falls is located east of Muldrow and occupies a pretty big chunk of the previously empty space in the vanilla map. What I love about this map is the layout of the town and the amount of different building types available to explore. There's a good balance of structures including standard housing, townhouses, high-density apartments, a ton of stores, military areas, and mega complexes. There are also some unique points of interest like the Bedford Manor, which is a replica of the Resident Evil mansion, and the massive insane asylum, which is really fun to explore. The town also has a very nice aesthetic. There's a lot of graffiti, impromptu campsites and tents, and fancy houses with a lot of glass walls. On the outskirts of the town, I found a structure completely made of glass, which I think was a greenhouse. Thankfully, there weren't a lot of zombies in the area at the time to destroy it. By default, this map has a really high zombie population, so surviving here might be a challenge for newer players, but there are plenty of resources to find and areas to loot. If you're looking for a place to get away from it all, this is the map for you. Lake Ivy Township is a quiet town full of open spaces for farming, lakes for fishing, and beautiful houses you can occupy and call your own. Located west of Muldrow, the town has some stores for basic survival, like a gas station, pharmacy, supermarkets, and a bookstore. The loot here, however, is limited, as it's designed for the player to survive off the land. There are so many lakes running through this town, you'll never run out of places to fish, and plenty of land for farming, trapping, and foraging. The zombie numbers are lower than other towns, but you'll still come across large hordes around the town center and hiding out in the forest, so don't let your guard down. Still, it's probably the only place on the map where you can live in a house made with glass walls. If you want to see how the rich people live before the apocalypse, this is the place to go. Chestown is a miniature city full of high-rise apartments and wealthy houses with manicured lawns. While the rest of the towns on the map expanded out, this town decided to build up, resulting in a very unique layout. The area is filled with narrow alleyways, tight corners, and stores stacked on top of each other inside of high-rise buildings. You can find most of the essentials here, including supermarkets, gas station, police station, and even a little timber yard. The area also has some interesting POIs, like the lavish town hall, courthouse, and an area with basketball and tennis courts. You won't need a car to get around this town. It has a perfect 10 out of 10 walkability score. If you can make it through the hordes of shambling zombies, of course. Have you ever wondered what's on the other side of the river? You'll need to go through an elaborate indoor maze filled with zombies in order to find out. Over the River has the most unique map layout from the list so far. If you're looking for a challenge exploration run, this might be the map for you. The new area is located north of West Point and west of Louisville. To get there, you'll need to cross one of the two bridges leading into the zone. The main bridge can be accessed from the shore of West Point, and here is where you'll need to make your way through the maze. The path here is very complex, as the structure has multiple levels with a residential town at the very top. If you make it through this part alive, you'll find another path that connects to a ship full of secret passageways and rooms to explore. Once you make it off the ship, you'll find yourself in the town. The secondary bridge from Louisville is much easier to cross as it's a straight shot highway into the area. The town itself is almost completely residential, but it has some fun points of interest to check out, including a large military base, the recreation of Walter White's house from Breaking Bad, and Grove Street from GTA San Andreas. The zombie population on this part of the map is very high, especially in the maze area. But if you're able to make it out alive, you'll be coming back with some good loot. Next up, we have Eerie Country, which is the biggest map on the list so far, and it's still in development. The map is so big, it's broken up into 4 different quadrants, labeled from A to D. Not all of the areas have been completed, but there is a lot to explore already. Due to its size, the new area has pretty much everything, including city areas, residential towns, massive military bases, lakeside farmhouses, mansions, and everything in between. The new area feels different in its design from the vanilla towns. It does feel more eerie and abandoned, with graffiti, bodies littering the streets, and boarded up houses. In a way, this is the ultimate exploration map, because it makes more sense to continue traveling rather than setting up a base in a house. There is even a small built-in quest to collect 34 spiffos scattered around the map. Now, the last map expansion on the list is also one of the most interesting because it adds several new areas along with a new gameplay mechanic. The Save Our Station mod adds 5 weather stations that control the emergency broadcast system. At the end of each transmission, the radio tower will give you an update on its operational status. After the power goes out, the stations will start encountering failures, and it'll be on you to figure out the problem and get them working again. Their locations are scattered around the map, so you'll need to get your hands on some new in-game items to help you find their locations and to diagnose the problems. The mod also adds new areas to explore, including a dirt racetrack, a diner, some secluded homes, and a top secret area for you to find. If you love exploring and traveling around the map, give this one a try because it's a lot of fun. Now, before we wrap up the video, I want to make a quick note on compatibility. I tested these mods on the current Steam version 41.78.16, and I didn't encounter any major problems. Everything appeared to be working as intended. I also tried loading all of the maps into a single save file, which didn't cause any issues either. That's all I have for today. If you enjoyed this one, check out some more of my content. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.